Hey everybody, this is Rydo and today we're playing Lead and Gold. So this is one of the games that I have gotten free since I've started my YouTube channel. Not given to me from a video game company because I'm a reviewer, but just general giveaways that were available and open to the public. Maybe it was free on Steam, maybe it was a key that was tweeted out, maybe it was given via the Humble store. Those are three of the main examples. But because I haven't paid anything, I don't really have to feel so invested in this game. That being said, this one looks pretty slick. It's got the controller inputs. When we come over to the how to play, we can see that there's multiple game modes, power-ups, maps. It looks like this might be more of a multiplayer game than anything else. We've got full button layouts that we'll figure out, I imagine, as we play. And then under settings, while the default resolution wasn't 1080p 60, I certainly could get up there. And the sound controls music and the sound effects, which, short of having a master control, that's kind of all you need to know. So let's play the game. And it is a multiplayer game. Now, for me, organizing people to play multiplayer does not work. It's just not likely that's ever going to happen. So I probably won't play this game for very long, even if I like it, which is interesting because this is potentially something that I would want to play. It looks nice and interesting. If I'm going to play a first-person shooter and it's not going to be one of the top ones like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, let's just start with the Gunslinger. Press start to display quick help on the screen. Press start and choose help options for any further info. Use left stick to move around. Okay. Use right stick to look around. Let's see. Left trigger to aim. Right stick to fire. This seems pretty good. Hold this to ready a trait. And then why is the screen flickering? All of this. I have never seen a game mess up this bad visually. So ready a trait, and then I have never had this. What is going on? Man, this is a new one for me. Like, the screen is just breaking into pixelations as if my video card is just failing completely. However, it can't be failing completely as I'm now walking up invisible steps. And apparently there's a goal here to take a powder keg. I cannot see a thing. But the menu works. So that tells me that it's not my video card, or highly unlikely that it's my video card. Let's go back and change some video settings. And this is exactly what I don't want. Let's just go down to like a anisotropic 4x. That will make it look a little bit uglier, but maybe we'll try this again. This time let's play the Trapper. So this is different types of shooting. Her trait is to drop something that apparently she can't step on. And now the graphics aren't messing up. It shouldn't have messed up even at 16x. Not in that fashion. It should have potentially complained about it or said something else, but it It shouldn't have... This is weird. It wants me to place that there and then blow it up. Interesting. I blew up the door, but it didn't blow up the item. You have this central focus that feels kind of unnecessary to have a white dot that's this wide in the middle of your screen at all times. Music a little corny, but it's subtle when played at this low level, so money goes that way. And what's my next goal? 20 experience for picking up a flag, apparently. And I think it wants me to go this way. And see, I don't see why there's a white dot and a non-white dot. And the white dot gets wider. It seems like as you run forward, there's... This guy's shooting me. I don't know if that's a real player or if that's just somebody, some AI programmed to shoot at me. I'm certainly losing health. Wow, I thought I had that dead to rights. Press A to change spawn point. Apparently I can just respawn where I was, or... I did hit him, but... it took a little bit more. I am noticing the graphics here aren't amazingly good. Seriously, is there no running? Like, no jumping, no dropping it. And then you have to just wait and wait to respawn, which is not something I'm a big fan of. And this guy's not who you particularly want to play as, unless your gun was a little bit stronger. And apparently there's a ground fire ability. Interesting. And where'd the gold go? I think the gold... respawned back in the area. X reloads your gun, which is nice when you have a gun that actually can be reloaded. And for every few seconds you're carrying the gold, you're gaining 5 experience. Heck, you can even toss it, it seems. So just on this tutorial, I'm already up to rank 4. I don't know if there's anything more. So he just kind of shoots from the hip when you're... And you can run when you're not carrying something with the left stick. That's interesting. And you can jump when you're not carrying something. It's just that you can't do it here. This sure seems like we're doing the same thing over and over again. Let's take a moment to look around the rest of the map. So I have to make a big assumption here that there is an active community playing this game still, which is very possible there isn't. And if that is the case, then I could see people being slightly interested in playing. Let's see, what's his ability? His ability, let's see, seems to be that you can maybe shoot large areas. Let's find somebody that is actually going to shoot at me. I've like death marked him. Is that a lock on? Is he weakened? Like 4 characters, not enough. Not enough characters in the game, you can already tell. Let's say that there's 20 maps in this game, just to pick a random guess. It's still probably not enough. The only character I really like to play as is the gunslinger. And I imagine you would find a lot of the other players playing as the gunslinger. And while I'm not incredibly terrible at shooting games, it's certainly not my forte, particularly multiplayer shooting games, so once I was actively playing against other people who have been playing this game for a while, I think people would see me die quite a lot. Just having me carry sacks of gold over and over again seems really crazy. At 50, am I going to be able to now upgrade anything? Feels like there should be something here, and that seems strange that he would run into my own area. But now all the AI guys seem to be doing that. And there's, who knows if killing these guys would respawn me. Nope. I just killed somebody as I'm dying. And so unless somebody else would be able to recover me, I think that's kind of all there is to it. So you're kind of in a weird position because I've already done all the tutorial. Like it's tutorializing me yet again because I didn't respawn. His trait is to throw a very slow explosive. You can blow holes in the side of this, but can you destroy it completely? No. And you can get some vantage points over here, but there's no... So very little, if any, destructible environment. A very small map to practice in. No single player mode. There's 4 indicators at the top of the map that I don't know what they even particularly mean. There's just going to be a ton of repetitiveness here. When you think about this compared to Team Fortress and Team Fortress 2 and where you've reached with that game. I'm just gonna put this down and see if I can blow it up as it is. And I can't shoot this and have the roof collapse. Like, I think you would be much better suited to play Team Fortress 2 compared to this. And I don't hate competition, but competition is for the seller, not the buyer. It benefits the buyer so they can be picky and pick the one that is the best game that's for them. That it doesn't mean that the player, the video game players out there, should spread themselves out and around. So your Team Fortress 2 would have a higher player base for sure. It's going to have more variety. It's going to have more updates, almost certainly. It's going to look a little bit better. It's almost the same artistic style. The only difference is this is set more towards something like a Western game, and that is more set towards I don't even know what you would call it. Its own thing. You have to do a small bit of tutorialization before you can even start to shoot people. So if your goal is simply to run around this area and get better, that would be helpful. It seems like also your ranks are resetting after each gameplay. So all the XP, everything, this is sort of like Battleborn, where in Battleborn you start at rank 1 and you play your way up to rank 20, and when you're done playing that level, close to nothing, if exactly nothing actually stays. It's not any kind of permanent progression. You can see that guy had some major problems. There's nothing wrong with this game, but what I have seen in several multiplayer games that have gone free, and they almost all probably have gone free for the same reason. Nice that there's at least one female character. I don't even know if Team Fortress 2 has any female characters. I guess I'd have to blind fire if I want to use her ability. And I'm just gonna respawn right next to this guy. And where's the money? It reset. So you may only get up to like rank 5 before the end of the levels available anyways. I guess the icons at the top are specifically designed for multiplayer. You would be able to see your other team players' ability and see how close they are to be resetted. I don't know if you could really play and do too much with that. Maybe you could convince all the players to run back and take a breather while everybody's respawning their abilities. I think it does just weaken them when you look at the numbers. And it seems like in this tutorial mission, it picks one place where you're gonna have to run, and then it makes you run there 3 times, which really feels like the exact opposite of what you would want. You would much prefer to to have the tutorial just pick one of the 3 possible locations where gold would load and cycle through that. This is the practice/tutorial mission. Perhaps they need a separate tutorial mission from a practice mode. And I think that's gonna be it for this. Let's see if we can exit out of here, because like I'm up to rank 5, you can go higher. Let's see, leave server. And practice is just Harvest Hill. There's like no other map that I see. And I can't get a cursor to come up, and I can't get anything else to come up. So if we were to create a game, you could do Gold Fever, you could do Greed, you could do Powder Keg, you could do Shootout, Robbery, Demolition, Conquest, Gold Fever. And so there's about 6 different types of gameplay and types of maps. You have Jacob's Bridge, Appendoe Valley, Prospector's Peak, Deadwater Ranch, Bad Blood Valley, Sinner's Gulch, Fort Turnbull, and that seems to be it, unless there's just 1 or 2 maps that can only be used in a few places. It seems like maybe Devil's Pit. So that feels like a lot of variety, but it really isn't for a multiplayer game. In general, multiplayer games have a major problem. You spend too much to build them, and then they don't last. And then you spend too much to advertise to them. Best case scenario, you have something like Call of Duty, where it's an annual thing, and you can just make a new version every year that's only slightly different from the previous version. But for anybody trying to break into that, they have to compete against a very saturated market of multiplayer. And for a YouTuber and a video game critic and Let's Players in general, multiplayer just doesn't work for a lot of us. It does work for a few, certainly. If we can get the ranking to actually come up here. You've got definitely some cheaters in the top 5, because you can see the score is massive jumps, and very possibly even all of the top 100 is there. It's cheaters. I would have to play the game more. Let's search ourselves and just see where we are. Having just played the game, I'm at 35,237, so that's the total number of accounts, not total number of real players even, but just the total number of accounts that have ever touched this game. Some of which are probably spam, but a lot of people here also are at 0 experience because they've never played, or they've barely played it. And let's see. There's some definite need for some photos and more pictorial explanations on all of this. Having to read all of this is a little too much, but for what was probably a limited in scope project, I think it looks good and it plays pretty good. It's just too limited of a game. So giving it not even 30 minutes, 25 minutes, it's a lot better than some of the other games I've gotten for free, but there's no motivation here to play this. Just because it's multiplayer. I said Killing Floor 1 might be a game that at some point I might come back to. In the same way, even but a little less, Lead and Gold is a game I might come back to if 3 other people really wanted me to play it for an hour or 2, but not really. Killing Floor had more guns. It had more enemies. it had a solo mission that I could actually play for a lot longer instead of just one simplistic map. While this does look better than Killing Floor, it doesn't really interest me. I've got far too many single player games to play. Well, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.